Evening and welcome back to the Boulevard. Week 4 college football best bets. We're back to Old Faithful over here. We switched back to our old streaming platform after having a lot of trouble with the other one. So, y'all let us know in the chat if everything looks okay, how things are going. Um, and yeah, we appreciate you guys tuning in. If you all have any questions or breakdowns on any teams you'd like us to do tonight, just throw them in the chat. I'm going to keep an eye on the stream here. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, looks good. Um, but yeah, you guys, how are things going with you guys? I'm going to make sure the stream's good on YouTube, and you guys can kind of just, say how you're doing.
Pretty good. I mean, we should have been live about an hour ago. We ran into some technical difficulties, but we'll be all right. I know I wasn't here last week, and I apologize for that. Anybody watching, had to celebrate a friend's birthday, but I'm back. Looking forward to this week. The schedule looks pretty damn good, boys. I got to say, there's some teams that really got to prove some stuff to us. Some other teams, a lot of question marks are going to be answered. So excited to get this week going, I guess. But yeah, maybe not like the most marquee games on paper, but if you look into them, there should be some really, really solid games this week, boys.
Yeah, I also was here in the not here last week. I ended up having to work very late and wasn't going to be here. So, B Magic helped us out, filled in for
Yes.
us,
Thank you,
and
Brian.
still got the show. So shout out to my boy B Magic
Thank you, Brian.
for hopping in on very short notice to help us out. So, yeah, no, I'm pretty excited for this weekend as always. It's always better when football's on the TV. Ready for some NFL on Sunday. We've been doing pretty good in it too. So.
I was thinking to myself the other day, actually, like at work, and I was just sitting there, and I was like asking myself, how did we make it through a whole 6 months without football? It still blows my mind because now it's back, and I look forward to it every single
Yeah.
weekend. I just know I'm gonna watch some games. I just can't. I don't understand how we're able to do this every year. Just go so long without it.
Bro,
At least for me and John, college basketball helps,
Oh,
but
college
still,
basketball is my A1. I've already
but
been looking at futures.
but still,
Uh,
I don't know how we do it.
quality of life
well,
so much better when football's on the TV.
yeah.
Yes, it's just so better. My quality of life is just so much better.
The stream looks good, sounds good. We're back on Riverside, so y'all just throw some questions in the chat if you need anything. But yeah, we're glad to be back. We got some significant news here. We're going to start getting into it. A couple of things I wanted to cover here. Deshaun Foster is gone from UCLA, and Brent Pry is gone from Virginia Tech. Why this is significant in today's college football landscape, which I haven't seen this yet. I haven't seen any players do it as of yet, but these players still have the eligibility to redshirt and transfer out of these schools if they wanted to, um, especially with how the transfer portal windows are set up. So that'll be something to kind of keep an eye on here. My boy Nico might head back to Tennessee. You just never know.
Oh my god, that's not happening. John Jinx flaked the hell out of that stage, bro. You can't come back.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
but listen, if you watch this podcast in the preseason, we gave out Deshaun Foster 25-1 to be the first head coach fired. Now, listen, I don't know how this works. Like when two coaches get fired the same day, maybe it's a dead heat where they pay out half the bet. So instead of paying 25-1, they pay out 12-1 or whatever. I don't know how it works. I don't know if they determine who was the first coach fired just by Brett McMurphy's tweet, like which one did he tweet first that was fired. But I'm just saying, if you listen to this podcast, there's a chance you might have won some money on Deshaun Foster 25-1, the first head coach fired. We called it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was going to mention that too. Between him and Brent Pride, those are the two coaches we both said were going to get fired.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and another thing, I don't know if you guys saw this yet, but On3 reported about a couple hours ago that the NCAA has said they are going to change their transfer portals to after the college football playoff ends. That is significant. This is something we talked about last year, right? Having a transfer portal open in the middle of the college football playoffs, some of these guys are looking for a new team while they're still playing ball. I mean, we talked about Bo Prabula last year, backing up Drew Aller, and if something happened to Aller, Bo was already committed to another team. He just hadn't openly announced it yet. So that's significant news. We'll have to see what happens to that. I'm all for it. I think the transfer portal shouldn't open until after the season, anyways. Let the kids focus on ball, not where they're going to go next year. But yeah, I don't know if y'all saw that. We'll have to kind of see what happens with that.
I think it
but-
needed to happen.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, guys, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this player. There's a cornerback from Wisconsin. His name was Xavier Lucas, and I want to say he transferred to Miami. But he essentially just bypassed the portal by simply just, and I know it sounds crazy, but if you look into the story, I was reading the other day, it's weird, where the portal in the grand scheme of things just doesn't really matter because he was not allowed to transfer. He was not allowed to enter the portal, per Wisconsin's whatever NIL contract he signed. And the portal wasn't even open. So what he did was he just simply like unregistered from the school and then enrolled at Miami. And now he's playing at Miami. And it sounds so like obvious, like why don't players do this? But I guess he was the first one to do it. And that's like the new loophole where instead of joining the portal, players are simply just going to unenroll from school and enroll somewhere else. So
Yeah.
while like this is a good move of the NCAA's part, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. I think just players are going to just do what Xavier Lucas just did. But
Yeah.
I mean, I do appreciate the effort by the NCAA. It is it is the right move.
Yeah. We're going to kind of dive back into week 3 just real quickly here. I know we started late tonight, but Clemson loses to Georgia Tech. I would say I was thinking about it earlier. I was going to ask you guys whose playoff hopes are more gone at this point, Clemson or Notre Dame's?
Clemson.
Yeah, I would have to say Clemson. Notre Dame still has a
tough.
slight chance, but I still think Notre Dame's treading on some thin water here. The only thing that's going to help Notre Dame, in my opinion, is if Miami and A&M both make the playoffs, or they're both top 20 teams, that will look good on their resume because they did play both those teams close. So if they can win out, they still could get that. I mean, they could get a lower seed, I guess. But yeah, I think Clemson's cooked, man. Miami looks incredible. Florida State looks incredible. And Clemson's doing the same thing they did last year. They are absolutely starting hellacious slow on offense again.
I'm done with Cade Klubnik. He hasn't shown me anything, guys. I'm done with him. He's not good. I know, Tyler, we're watching that LSU Clemson game. I think we saw that Cade was like the projected 3rd pick in the draft. If somebody drafts Cade in the 1st round, they're going to get fired. He's not good. He's not good. I've seen it 4 years now. He's just simply not good. Okay. Dabo, I mean, listen, I don't really know what his I don't know what leash he has at Clemson. He's done a lot for that program. I'm not going to dismiss what he's done for him, but I don't know how much longer he can be there at Clemson.
Yeah. Well, he even came and said out in an interview. He said, "If you don't want me here, I'll leave and I'll go win games somewhere else. If you don't want
somebody
me
will hire Dabo. Don't get me wrong.
Oh
He
yeah.
still is one of the better. He's one of the best coaches of our generation. But still, like maybe it's just one of those situations like where I'm getting real Mike Gundy vibes from Dabo, where like that's the direction he's headed in, where he's a legend, but maybe it's time to to mutually part ways before it gets ugly. But really quick on that Notre Dame front. The very first thing I did Sunday morning when I woke up was I checked the national championship odds for Notre Dame because I wanted 50-1. And if it was 50-1, I would have put money down on Notre Dame to win the national championship. The best number I saw was actually on Bet Online, and it was 35-1. And I don't know about you guys, that's not enough meat on the bone for me. I needed a better number. If I would have got 50-1, I would have placed the future on Notre Dame in the national championship. I would have hedged it out later. If anybody out there can find a number similar in that range, I recommend it. I would encourage you to bet that number because they only lost to A&M by 1 and then Miami by 3. It's not like they're getting blown out in these games, guys. These are 2 really good teams. The rest of their schedule is pretty easy besides USC. If they win that game, they make the playoffs. So if anybody out there finds a 45-1 or better on Notre Dame, I would recommend making that bet.
Yeah. A couple other big games real quick. I'll just go through it really quickly here. Vanderbilt takes down South Carolina in South Carolina. UGA, Tennessee was an absolute thriller. UGA gets it done in overtime. The backyard brawl, another banger. Pitt, West Virginia. West Virginia pulls it out after everyone said Pitt was going to blow them out. So just some really good games last weekend. A lot of teams showed up. A lot of teams didn't show up. Cal, they take down Minnesota at home. That was another big win for Cal and their freshman quarterback. So, we just got there's a lot of good games last week and a lot of people who lost that probably it's going to really hurt them in the long run here. So, You guys want to touch on any of those games real quick? Only one I really want to touch on really quick on my end is the UGA Tennessee game. I was at the race. I did see a decent amount of it. The culture at Tennessee has changed, in my opinion, with Nico gone. I think that he was really hindering that team culture-wise in the locker room. Aguilera has embraced the offense, the team as a whole. This team is not as good as the people they had last year on that team, but they are playing better. UGA on defense, Gunnar Stockton showed me a lot. He played really, really well. But the defense did struggle. I don't know if that's just how good Tennessee's offense is, especially the secondary struggle. But Kirby's the best coach in the game. He made some adjustments and got it done. So shout out to UGA getting that win. That was a big win for them.
I mean, listen, if you're a Vol fan, which I know John really is, I mean, that's got to be like one of the most backbreaking losses I could possibly think of, guys. To have Aguilar play the way he did, to start off with that lead, 21-7, you're playing at home, the crowd is supporting you, they're rallying around the team, right? You have these players making amazing plays. You have a 4th and 9 or whatever it is that Gunnar, like you have a chance to win the game at the end with a field goal that you miss, and to add insult to injury, the kicker goes up the very next drive and kicks the exact same field goal and makes it. Like, why couldn't I do that 5 minutes ago? Like, to have everything going in your favor and to still lose, like, that's got to be devastating, right? I don't really know how you can like that. That's tough. That's extremely tough. Yeah. But shout out to UGA, like you said.
Yeah.
Very
Arkansas hung with Ole Miss, and they in the end they lost it there. Tyler, did you watch a lot of that game?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. What happened over there?
We have the worst defense in Power 4. That's what happened over there.
Hey, they covered. Right, T?
They did cover.
They did
cover, but they did cover. Austin Simmons got hurt, and they brought in the backup, and I'm
Trinidad.
Name right now.
Trinidad. Yeah.
D2 transfer from Ferris State. I'm gonna tell you, absolutely tore us up, and I mean tore us up. There for a while. It was just the way it was going, especially in the first half, was whoever had the ball last was going to win the game, because both defenses were sorry, like absolutely sorry. But we were Arkansas too. Like I was talking to Jose about this earlier. Like very first game of the year when we played Alabama A&M, they were torching our ass.
Yeah,
and I mean torching us. So our defense is really, 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 really bad. Really bad. I think we're okay up front on the offensive side of the ball, and Talon seems to be a little bit better than he was last year. I still got some questions on like intermediate throws and stuff, but I mean we can score points, but I don't think we can score enough to be able to keep up with some of these offenses that we're going to have to. Because our defense, when I like all jokes aside, is like really, really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yeah. Well, we're going to hop into these week 4 games here. And just right off the bat, really quickly, I know it's not on our to talk about list here, but Tyler and I both are on Memphis. You can see it right there in the middle of the page.
Facts.
The good thing about Memphis here is they're at home. They're actually a really good ball team with a good defense. I think, and Arkansas is that kind of team. Tyler, you can attest to this, I believe. They lose a big game like this, and that's it. Like they're just like they'll lose a game that you wouldn't expect them to lose. I think Memphis has a real chance to win this game outright, especially at home. But yeah, I'm on Memphis there at plus the 7.5.
Yeah, Arkansas will lose a game that they shouldn't lose, and then they'll win a game that they shouldn't win. So what's probably going to happen is we're going to lose at Memphis this week, and then we'll beat Notre Dame at home next week. It's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably lose every game for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I love Memphis this week. I'm on them. I think they're live here to possibly win outright. So, but let's get over here to Texas Tech, Utah, our first big game of the week. I'm super pumped for this game. This game, we're really going to see what both these teams are made of. Texas Tech, they've yet to really play anybody. Same for Utah. Both teams have been lighting up the scoreboard. Jose, I'm going to let you lead off here with Utah, why you like them, why you don't like them, who's going to win this game. Go for it.
Yeah, first and foremost, I think it's a travesty that this game is being played at 9 a.m. Utah time, guys. Right? 10 a.m.
Yes, that's so odd.
We talk about how Utah has one of the more underrated home field environments. We actually power rate as one of the best home field environments, right? But that's because Utah usually plays at night. Like, you know what I mean? Typically, Utah is like the very late game of the night, one of the last games of the day. I'm sorry. And is it just me, or do night games inflict more fear in the opponent? Like, does it add to the home field environment? Because I think it does. Now, I understand maybe the state of Utah and the Utah fans don't get as raucous as other fans, if you catch my drift, just due to like beliefs, and maybe they're not as inebriated as some other fans. But even still, like for you to play that late, like, for you to play this early in the day, I can't imagine your fans are going to be as hype or as jacked as they would have been at 7 o'clock when Utah normally plays. That being said, it still is at elevation, and it still is regardless. I'm sure the fans will show out. Now about the game specifically, look, both these teams really haven't played anybody. So it's hard to dissect just exactly how good these teams are. Utah played UCLA, which on paper, I guess, looks okay just by name value, but UCLA is terrible. They're a corpse. Texas Tech and the same, they really haven't played anybody else. But one thing I do want to point was last week. At halftime, Utah was only up on Wyoming 3-0, guys. And if you watch that game, it was either by design, and what I mean by that is they were running a really vanilla offense knowing that they had Texas Tech on deck, or they just really struggled against Wyoming. Now, to be fair, the second half they kind of pulled away. But for me, kind of concerning just how close that game was. Texas Tech, on the other hand, I believe they played I don't know off the top of my head, but Oregon State. It was Oregon State, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And they absolutely obliterated the Beavers. So two teams are coming in, I guess on different forms of momentum, I guess. But for me, I was really concerned at that halftime score with Utah to be only up 3-0. This game will be decided in the trenches because both of these teams have a really, really significant edge. Utah's offensive line this season has looked fantastic. Like, I don't believe they've given up really that many multiple pressures per game. Their offensive tackles have been fantastic. And Texas Tech's defense, again, their defensive line has been really, really solid. David Bailey, the transfer from Stanford, has looked amazing. So it's really going to be a true battle in the trenches to see which unit is better. Now, I want to ask you guys, if you had the choice, would you rather have an elite offensive line or an elite defensive line? What to you is worth more? What do you guys think is the better option to have? John or Tyler, either one of you guys can take the lead here. What would you guys rather have on your team?
Offensive line.
Yeah, for me, offensive line too.
Yeah.
And I agree, which is why I give Utah the slight edge at home, guys. I'm going to back Devin Dampierre, who's looked like a Heisman hopeful. Really, he's played fantastic. We saw him in New Mexico. One thing about Devin Dampierre that I really want to point out real quick is that he has no turnovers this year, guys. We talked about in the preseason how he turned the ball over a lot last year, but we gave him that pass because he played at New Mexico and he had no weapons around him. He kind of had to make every play. This year he's playing more within himself, doesn't have to make every play. He looks fantastic, like I said. It's really hard to go against Utah at home. It's really, really hard to do that. For Texas Tech, this is kind of the game where you kind of have to put all your marbles on the table. I mean, they spent a lot of money in NIL this offseason, guys. They dropped the bags all around. And so far, it's paid dividends, but they haven't played any. But this is the game where it's got to show.
Yeah.
All the pressure on Texas Tech, in my opinion, here in this game. They have to produce. They have to prove, the investment they made was worth it. And again, Utah playing at home should be more relaxed. I'm going to take the Utes, but this should be really, really good. Like, this should be an amazing game to watch.
Yeah, I agree. This should be one heck of a game. I think Jose explained it well. This is actually the first bet I placed. Utah at home is just something you really can't bet against. I've actually watched multiple of the Utah games this year, and I know they really haven't played anyone, but that offense is humming, and it is very. It's not chaotic, or it's just very efficient. It's very efficient. It has been somewhat vanilla, and I think he's got Devin Dampierre. He's got a lot of weapons. Some that came over with him when he transferred, so he's very familiar with them, the system, the offensive coordinator, everyone. I love Utah in this spot at home. I'd play it up to 5.5. And I got him at 3.5, and I love it. It's probably my favorite bet of the week. Utah at home, I just can't go against them. I'm all over it. Tyler?
Yeah, I agree. For all the exact same reasons. Utah at home, Devin Dampierre's going to be able to extend plays with his legs if he needs to. and that can really hurt a defense by just being able to extend drives. So, like you said, it's even with it being an early game in Utah, people are going to be at that game. It's going to be loud. So, I just can't bet against Utah at home.
Yeah. And let's move on now to Michigan at Nebraska. Nebraska's been landed on some people here lately. They are the home team in this game, and they are plus 2.5 underdogs. I personally have no play on this game. I'll give. I think Bryce Underwood has been playing pretty well, especially for a freshman. Now, one thing that does concern me is when he went to play in Oklahoma, he looked very lost. He looked like a deer in headlights for that road game. I think Nebraska's going to be popping. I think it's going to be lit here. So I have no play. I kind of lean Nebraska here at home, but not enough to make a play here.
I think that point you just made, John, about Bryce Underwood on the road, I want to say the environment will probably be tougher at Nebraska, but the defense, Oklahoma's defense, is much better than. I mean, not much, but it is. But it is better. You know, it is better than what Nebraska's going to put out there. But again, if you're comparing environments, maybe Nebraska's a little more intimidating. I don't know, but make no mistake, OU's defense was better.
Yes.
I think this game will come down to Bryce Underwood's legs because he has been running the ball. He ran the ball a lot more last week, and there's no surprise. He ran it a lot more last week. That was the first game Sharon Moore, I believe, served for suspension. Sharon Moore's, philosophy is to keep the quarterback healthy. He wants to be able to, have his quarterback there, distribute the ball through the passing game. And now they had Biff Poggi take over, and he was very adamant in his pregame interviews that he will run Bryce Underwood. And why wouldn't he? I mean, Biff Poggi has nothing to lose. He's not going to be the head coach after it's all done. He just wants to win games. So if Bryce Underwood using his legs is going to be better for the team, he's going to call that play. Nebraska, very first game of the season against Cincinnati. That was a game they probably should have won by more. They held Brendan Sorsby in check with his arms. But again, where Brendan Sorsby killed him was with his legs. When he ran the ball, when he scrambled, that's what got Nebraska in trouble, right? So if Underwood is willing to run the ball here, that's the edge I think Michigan's going to have. Now, I really want to bet Nebraska. Like, I really do. Right? I want to buy into this hype, but my mind is telling me Michigan's probably going to walk away with a dub here. Raiola, again, some people love him, some people hate him. I'm more on the side of hating him. I just haven't seen enough out of him. His footwork is sloppy. I just feel like he's way too inconsistent. This is not the defense you want to play. You want to make mistakes against guys. I know Michigan's defense maybe is not what it once was, but make no mistake, it's still a really good defense, and defense will travel. Very, very tough game to call. Very tough game to call. It's holding steady right now at 2.5. If it gets to 3, maybe I have to bet Nebraska on principle. But I really, really think that this is Michigan's game to lose if they utilize Underwood the way he probably should be utilized in this game.
Yeah.
So for the podcast, I'll give out Michigan minus 2.5. I don't feel strong about it. And this is why it's important to follow us on Action, because there's a chance I may end up coming back on Nebraska at 3 if it gets there. But another game where Nebraska, this is a game Nebraska has to win. Like if they really improved as a program and Matt Rule has improved as a coach and elevated this team, they have to win this game at home against Michigan. Like, you have to win this game, guys. So yeah, I'm really back and forth on this one, but I'll take Michigan here.
These are games too that Nebraska are known to lose. This game will be close to the end. Yes. And Nebraska always loses these close games. Cincinnati's the first time they've won a close game in 2-3 years.
But Cincinnati to Michigan's a big difference.
For sure. Yeah. Tyler, you got anything you want to add to that game real quick?
Yeah, what you just said is really what's keeping me from betting Nebraska in this game. I really want to take Nebraska really bad. To be honest with you, I haven't seen that much out of Michigan for them to be favored to begin with, which is also why I want to take Nebraska. But also at the same time, if they are, I feel like that's kind of telling me something. So
a little trappy, doesn't it?
It is a little trappy.
That was the first thing I saw. I was like, this line is a little trappy to me, guys. That was the first thing I took away from that. So we're on the same page on this one. We're on the same page. That was the first thing I noticed.
Because I don't see why Michigan should be favored, but since they are favored, I don't know. I feel like the sportsbooks know something, so I feel like I should take Michigan. And based on history of Nebraska losing these games, I want to take Michigan. but I really don't want to take Michigan. I really want to take Nebraska. So,
But if it gets to 3,
honestly, if it gets to 3, I have to take Nebraska. But as of right now, I'll lean Michigan just because I think the line kind of stinks in my personal opinion. But I don't feel great about it. I will bet on this game though. I will bet
on this game, but I'm just telling you, it feels like a trap.
Yeah, I have no play.
Yeah, it does. That line stinks.
Yeah, it is weird. I have no play here, but we're going to move over down here to the next big game, which is Auburn at Oklahoma. I don't have a whole lot to say about this. I've been on the Oklahoma train since the beginning. I think they're really good. I believe in Mateer. The defense as a whole, the offensive coordinator is translating. They have some weapons around him. This team's looked really good, offensively, defensively, whatever it may be. This team has looked incredible, and I if I have to make, I don't have a play here, just because I also like Auburn a lot this year, but I think if anyone can kind of slow down that Auburn offense, it would be Oklahoma's defense. So if I have to make a play here, I'm definitely on Oklahoma -6.5 at home. I'm really high on Oklahoma this year. I think they're in the playoffs. I think they're going to be in the playoffs. And that was one of the teams I was leaning towards at the beginning of the year to be in the playoffs. They've shown it already. They have shown me enough this year that this team is legit. So,
didn't this line open up at like 3.5 or 4.5 or something?
I think it's like 4.
They got bet up pretty quick. It did not.
Yeah.
There's some money coming on Oklahoma for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I lean Oklahoma here. No official play, but yeah, I think Oklahoma's the real deal.
I guess nobody believes in the Jackson Arnold revenge game, right? Like this is his first game coming back to OU. Look, what I'll say is that Auburn has played a pretty good team in Baylor, I guess, and then a couple cupcakes. But in that one game against Baylor, Arnold could not throw the ball. Like he ran the ball. He used his legs a lot. And that scares me because Oklahoma will not let you run it, right? They held Bryce Hunter in check. And they really not going to let you throw it either. So he's going to have to prove a lot. If Auburn goes in there and beats Oklahoma, that will be a very, very telling victory for me. It'll show that Jackson Arnold really is the truth. And this Auburn team as a whole is much, much improved. I'm definitely leaning with John here. I don't really see it. I don't see how Arnold moves the ball against this defense. He hasn't made me believe in him yet. I don't think he's terrible. Like we talked about, I don't think Arnold is bad, but he's really got to show me a little bit more for me to buy in on him. I like this Auburn team. I hate to say it, but I think the Sooners roll here, guys. I do. I feel comfortable laying the points. We laid it last time against Michigan. And they dominated that. Honestly, it should have been a much bigger point spread outcome, right? Like they should have won by a lot more. So yeah, I'm gonna lean with John here on Oklahoma. I haven't bet it yet, but yeah, I think the Sooners roll.
Yeah, Auburn struggled a little bit last week offensively against South Alabama as well. Yeah. It was a little concerning, especially going against a defense like this. Tyler, you got anything you want to add real quick?
No, I would say I agree 100%. I haven't bet it yet, and I'm waiting to see if the line moves a little bit more if it stays here. But I don't think that Jackson Arnold is going to be able to run on this defense. And we saw already in the one decent team that he played, he couldn't throw, and that's definitely not going to win you a game, especially on the road. So for now, I'm going to take Oklahoma. I'm just going to kind of wait and see what the line does a little bit.
And keep in mind, this is the same, like that Baylor team that Jackson Arnold couldn't throw on. They gave up 400 yards against Kevin Jennings the following week. Yeah. I think he was 20 for 20 at one point passing. So not a good look for Arnold.
Yeah. And we're going to move on to our last two bigger games on the slate that we're going to cover here. We'll start off with Florida at Miami. College Game Day is going there, I believe. Spread is -7.5 Miami. And that place is probably going to be rocking. I do not have a play on this game. Oh, I do have a play on this game. I took the over. What did I take? I took the under. Sorry. I took the under here simply because I got under 52.5. Simply because I believe there's something wrong with Florida's offense. They have not shown me anything on the offensive side of the ball that they can move it, especially against a Miami defense that might be the best defense in the country. That defense is incredible. I just think Florida is going to really struggle here to move the ball. I have this like a Miami, like, honest to God, I think Miami will win this game like 38-14 maybe. So give me the under 52.5. But yeah, I don't have a play on the spread. I do think it will go under though.
I'm tired of betting on Florida.
Go ahead, T. Go ahead.
Also, I'm tired of betting on Florida. I've gotten cooked the past 2 weeks. We took them last week against LSU. They threw 5 interceptions and still only lost. They were 3 points away from covering.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a testament to Florida's defense or if LSU's offense just isn't good. I do think their defense
I think Florida's defense is good.
I do too. I do.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, with that being said, like, I really want to take Florida, but man, they're making it hard for me to take Florida in this game. After the past 2 weeks, DJ last week was terrible, like really, really bad. And I don't know if it was a scheme deal or if he was just so rattled, or if it was both. I don't know if Blake Baker just really, had drawn it up to where, he really confused DJ. And I know this is his first like full year starting, so I mean he's still pretty green. But man, he made a lot of mistakes and a lot of bad throws too, like inaccurate throws. So that kind of scares me away. I'm probably not going to bet this game one way or the other. I'm probably just going to watch and see what happens. And because I don't bet it, Florida's somehow going to keep it close within a touchdown. But that's just kind of where I'm at. They've cooked me the past 2 weeks.
And for all you out there that thought Billy Napier's seat was hot last year, it is hot this year. Because
hot.
This team came in with high expectations. The buyout is lower for Napier now. He is on the hot seat. He's got to do something. That might give a little motivation here, I guess, for Florida. But I think, but like I said, I think both defenses are good enough to keep this under 52. Jose, you tell us what spread we should be taking in this game.
Well, the fundamental question we have to ask ourselves is DJ Lagway actually that ass? Like, do you guys think he sucks that bad?
I don't think he's that bad, but I don't think he's at the hype. I don't think he should be getting the hype he's getting either.
John?
I think it's an offensive line issue.
But to throw 5 picks in a game, I mean,
that's bad.
Yeah,
that's rough. Like some of those throws were like complete ducks, dude. I was like, what
that's
what
I mean. They were like really bad throws.
Yeah.
To any viewer out there listening to this podcast, right? I'm sure you guys listen to other ones as well. Everybody in this world wants to be right. Everybody wants to be right, but in reality, people are wrong. And the good podcasts, are involve people who admit when they're wrong. And I'm here to tell you, I think I was wrong about DJ Lagway.
Yeah.
Okay? I hyped him up a lot. I thought this guy was the second coming. Unfortunately, he looks like just another guy. Like that 5-star rating is starting to really, really speak louder than what he's showing us. I expected a bigger step to throw 5 picks. I'm sorry. I don't care how good LSU's defense is. That's just inexcusable. It just can't happen. It cannot happen. Florida had every chance to win that game last week, guys.
Yeah.
If he doesn't throw
even
5
with
picks,
throwing 5 picks.
Yeah, like let's say he throws 2 picks.
Yeah.
Okay? Like they win that game. So again, you have to ask yourself: is Lagway really that bad, or was that just a random fluke game? Because if he's not that bad, if you think that was a random game, and let's just say we're throwing 1 or 2 picks, they probably win that game. And if they win that game, what's this spread? It's not 7.5. I'll tell you that. It's probably going to be like what? 4, 3.5 ish.
Yeah, I was gonna say 4.
I think that's what it opened at.
It might have opened there, but it didn't last not very long. I'm sure it ran through 7.
That was probably an earlier line.
Yeah, that was probably an earlier line
before the game last week.
Yeah.
So if you think that was a fluke performance, you have to take Florida here, okay? Because this number should not be 7.5. Florida probably wins that game more often than not, and this line is what, 4? Like John said, 4.5 ish, which is probably more in line of what the line should be. But bet Florida at your own risk. Because there's a chance they're a corpse. Like they may have quit on the season. That was a pretty bad loss last week. I don't know. I mean, I still think there's hope for this squad. The defense is legit. Like John said, the under should be good here because both these defenses are really, really good. And I can tell you everyone's gonna pile in on Miami. Like I can't imagine a lot of people are gonna line up to bet Florida here. So be patient, maybe get a better number. But you have to ask yourself, is that a fluke performance by Lagway or is he actually that bad? If you think it's a fluke, you got to bet Florida because this line should not be 7.5. And more often than not, they probably win last week. So I'm gonna say take the Gators at your own caution, but there's a chance they're a corpse. And I'm not telling you to put a whole bunch of money on them. I'm just saying if you're a pure numbers guy, if you believe in numbers and you believe in betting numbers, not teams, take Florida. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, also going back to last week's game against LSU, like one of the touchdowns that LSU scored was a pick six.
Yeah, what did LSU do? They didn't do anything.
Florida's
defense held them in check.
Florida's defense is good enough. Yeah,
it's good enough. They can make this a game. And for LSU, really quickly, I mean, I'll tell you what, they're a team that people really were writing as national champion shoo-ins a couple weeks ago. That Clemson win is not aging well, and they probably should have lost it like that. They could have lost that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to beat Florida by only 10 points after getting 5 picks, and one of them was a pick 6.
One of them was a pick 6.
I'm telling you right now, there are some problems right there with that team. I'm looking to fade them in the future.
Yeah. All right, our last game of the night. Probably the one I'm the most excited about outside maybe Utah game. I'm pumped for this game. Illinois at Indiana. Our boy Kurt Sig is back at it. And let me tell you, I hopped on this immediately. It was 4.5. I've watched a couple Indiana games. This dude is on the sideline, cussing players out, cussing coaches out, up 73-0, pissed off about a penalty, about some offensive mishaps. I mean, he is ready to fucking go this year. He is. He's always ready, but he's letting them have it. And something, I don't even know if we mentioned it on the podcast before or the last couple weeks, but this Illinois team is not as good as they've shown. They are a fraudulent team. They have just gotten super lucky. They got to be one of the luckiest teams in college football this year. They are not as good as they show. Indiana is legit. I'm a big Mendoza fan. They have a very good running back. They have a very good running game. They have good receivers. Surratt on the outside.
Dog.
Yeah.
Dog.
They got my boy Ellison. Ellison, my son's name at running back, I believe. So let's go. I'm all over Indiana here. Defense has looked incredible. Offense have looked incredible. Moving the ball with ease. I don't care who they played. And Kurt has had these boys ready to go. And the big thing here, too, is the offensive and the defensive lines have held strong. The biggest thing here the difference you're going to see from the Duke game in this game is I don't think Mendoza is going to make these mistakes. That is what that had Illinois pull away in that game. And you're playing in Indiana at night. This place is going to be lit. Give me Indiana. I think that I would take it up to 6. But I think Indiana is probably going to win it by around 10 to 14 points. Give me Indiana.
Indiana. I'll bet it up to 10. Illinois fucking stinks. I'm telling you right now, Illinois is trash. Okay? Illinois is fraud as hell. I'm tired, not Indiana, Illinois. Illinois is fraud as hell. They're shit. They're not good. Me and Jose, when we took Duke in that game, Duke was beating the shit out of Illinois in the first half. Beating the shit. And in the trenches, Duke was whooping that ass. They were struggling offensively, but not because of Illinois' defense, but just because Darian Mitchell was not having a very good game. The turnovers killed him in the second half. I'm telling you right now, I don't give a shit what it is. I'm taking Indiana. Illinois fucking stinks. They're fraud as shit, and I'm not taking Illinois. I don't give a shit what the number is. Indiana's going to beat the shit out of these boys.
Indiana, baby. Let's go.
I'm sick of it, bro.
Let's go.
The hype that this team is getting, I do not understand. I do not understand why people are backing Illinois. I do not understand why people are picking them as a dark horse. They're not dark horse shit because they're going to get that ass whooped. Okay? Yeah. Take Indiana. Well, I don't give a shit what it is. Take Indiana.
Sig is going to lay it on them.
That game made me mad, bro. The Duke game made me mad because Duke was –
You know what's going to happen, right?
Oh.
Illinois is going to win on some bullshit. And next week, me and you are going to come back and we're going to say, we're never taking Indiana again. And you know who we are going to take next week? Penn State, baby.
Oh.
Penn State,
so
baby. But we'll talk about that game next week. Jose, Illinois,
I'm going to be going in on that game, too.
Can you make it a 3 for 3? Are you riding Indiana with me and Big T?
Oh.
Your boy Sig. Your favorite.
Don't tell me you're taking Illinois, dog.
Your favorite.
Do not tell me you're taking Illinois.
Football.
We sat there.
Fuck no, I'm not
How
taking
long
Illinois,
did we
bro. I'm
sat
taking
there?
Indiana.
That's right.
Come on, dude. That's not even a question you have to ask, dude. Oh my! I am not going against Kurt Signetti. That's my guy. Out of all the guys in college football, that's my
his
absolute guy right there, dude. You are not gonna get me going against Kurt Signetti. Listen, I want to say really quickly, okay? This is what makes NIL so great, in my opinion, because 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 100 years ago, nobody would care about Illinois at Indiana.
No.
This game would not garner this much attention. I cannot wait to watch this game.
Yep.
I cannot wait to sit down at 5 p.m. prime time on NBC. I'll actually be up in Palo Alto. I cannot wait to go to a sports bar and watch this game. Like, this is going to be an amazing, amazing game. I'm so jacked to watch this thing, to watch my boy Signetti go out there and embarrass Illinois. Listen to me. Listen. Everyone likes to shit on Indiana because Indiana can't win. Like, when they play against good teams, they lose. And when they play against bad teams, they smash them. But against the good teams, they can't win. Okay, the two good teams they played last year were Ohio State and Notre Dame. And guess
National
what?
championship.
That was a national championship. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you tell me, you're gonna tell me that Illinois is closer to Ohio State, or are they closer to the other teams they played? I would say they're a lot closer than the other teams they played. They're nowhere near Ohio State. So you cannot sit here and tell me that, oh, well, Indiana struggles against good teams. Okay, that may be true. Guess what? Illinois is not a good team. So I don't see how that's relevant to this conversation. On top of that, let's not pretend like Illinois is some fucking crazy team that was beating a bunch of good teams last year, okay? Illinois beat up on all the shitty teams just like Indiana. When they played against somebody good, guess what? They lost. And usually by a lot. Like, they got blown out against, was it Oregon? Like 38-0. And I think they lost to Penn State by 2 touchdowns. Like, let's not act like this Illinois team is all that good either, okay? They're a fraud team. They got outgained on the season last year and won 10 games. Do you know how hard it is for that to happen? Like, that the percentage, like, it's 1% chance of happening, and it did. This team is fraud. They're not good, okay? Don't sit here and try to convince me. This Indiana roster, from a talent perspective, is better than what they were last year. I expect Mendoza to ball out. I think Surratt is an absolute dog. Indiana has one of the better corners in the country in Pons, D'Angelo Pons. Altmaier's a fraud. I don't see how Illinois scores in this game. Listen, this line opened at 4. I think John got 4.5. Like he said, that's a pretty good number right there. I want to see this thing shot up to 6. I don't care. I'm going to lay 6, 6.5. It doesn't matter to me. Indiana will beat the shit out of these boys. There's no way they don't win this game. There's no way they don't cover this game, dude. They're frauds. I don't want to hear it, okay? If Illinois wins this game, I promise you, I will buy an Illinois hoodie and run 2 miles in 95-degree California weather. And I'll record it and put it on YouTube. That's how confident I am, okay? If Illinois wins this game, I will buy an Illinois hoodie. I will go to the nearest high school and run 2 miles in the middle of the day in 95-degree weather. And I will record it and post it on YouTube. That's how confident I am these boys are not going to win. Indiana was going to roll these guys, dude. Yes, Indiana only beats up on bad teams, and they struggle against good ones. Guess what? Illinois is not a good team. You're not. Okay? Give me the Hoosiers.
Yep. And you're getting it here early. You don't even have to wait for it. That's one of our best bets of the week. Indiana. Lock them in. We were currently 6-3 on the year over on Reddit on our best bets. We're here to give some bets out for you. We'll start with the dog of the week here. I had mentioned last week with Brian, it was New Mexico or bust for me against UCLA. And guess what? Wow. New Mexico won. Jose, I shouted you out. You said Texas A&M was your dog. They won. I mean, guys, come on, tune in. We're out here. We're giving winners. Tyler, I don't think I got your dog last week, but we're here to give it out this week. I'll go ahead and start. I'm on Tulsa, plus 380.
That was mine.
Playing Oklahoma State, baby. Give me Tulsa here. Listen, I'm actually familiar with this Tulsa coach. He's a very good coach. He came from Gardner-Webb and FCS, coached at ETSU for a little bit. He has a lot to play for. He's a young coach. He's going to get his guys ready to go. Oklahoma State is a lot like what UCLA is last week. They are a corpse. Mike Gundy is going to be gone. They're going to probably do it peacefully, though, with him and just let him retire, whatever. I don't care. Oklahoma State is a corpse. Tulsa actually has a little bit to get up for here. Play some good ball. They have a good defense. The offense would be my only concern here, but I think Tulsa can win this game outright. That's my dog of the week at plus 380.
Wow.
Sorry, Tyler.
Yeah, no, that's what I had too. Now I got 5 minutes.
All right, I bet it too. It's on my action. Y'all can go look. I already bet it. Tulsa is my dog of the week.
That mine's come down quite a bit too.
Yeah.
Tyler, I thought maybe you would go with Memphis as you're talking
Well,
about.
I will go Memphis now. That I was going to do Tulsa, but since John did Tulsa, I'll do Memphis. Our defense stinks. We always shoot ourselves in the foot. Always. It just never fails. We'll turn the ball over when we're not supposed to. Memphis will find a way to win the game. At Memphis, we don't travel well. We don't play well on the road. And I really don't think Memphis is that far off from us. And not like I said, our defense is trash. So, yeah, I'll go Memphis.
I'm going to take a small little pup. I'll take Arizona State on the money line against Baylor this week. As much as I like Baylor, I think Arizona State's shown to be the better team this year. This Baylor defense has a lot of holes. The running back from Arizona State, Raleek Brown, former 5-star kid, came to USC for a little bit. He's showing out this year in a big way. Looks really, really good. Sam Levitt played a little bit better last week, I guess. But I just think
at receiver.
I got a Jordan Tyson's probably the first receiver off the board.
Yeah.
I think this Baylor team is fortunate to be where they're at. I mean, I know we all had Baylor against SMU, but they probably should have lost that game, guys. That was a miracle comeback. So yeah, I gotta stay away from backing Aranda right now. He hasn't shown me enough. I'll take the small pup. Arizona. This is a game that has real college football playoff implications. This is a real this may not have been the main card, but this is a game I think we're all gonna watch because this should be a really, really good one. I know I'll have my eyes on it at some point. But yeah. Also, really quick before we go, I got to give one last shout out to my man. I can't even pronounce his name, but JKS, starting quarterback at Cal. I know John talked about him earlier.
Dog.
I don't know what the odds are for Cal to win the ACC, but their schedule is really easy. They don't play anybody good. And if you want to jump in on this team, I would recommend betting on Cal to win the ACC because that quarterback is an absolute dog.
That's what a 5-star quarterback should
That's
look
what
like.
a 5-star should look like. He is playing phenomenal, ridiculously good. And for any Cal fan out there, I'm sorry. Enjoy him while you have him because he will not be there next year. I promise you.
No.
He will not be
He's going to get bought out.
He will get paid.
Before we go to, I'm going to shout my bets out. I don't know if y'all have any that you want to shout out, but outside of my Utah, Indiana, and my under bet, did want to shout out. I got Memphis. Already did. I love Memphis here. Arkansas traveling after a heartbreaking loss. They usually seem to lose games like this. Memphis +7. They're actually a really good ball club. One of the favorites to be the G5 representative. I'm on Temple +24.5 at Georgia Tech. Listen, Temple at Georgia Tech here. Temple's got a formidable defense. They can hang with this. Georgia Tech, this is kind of a spot play too. Georgia Tech coming off that huge win against Clemson. I think Temple can keep this close. If they can score 2 touchdowns, I do believe they'll cover this. So give me Temple +24.5. Also, another spot play here, but I got to shout them out. My Jayhawks, baby, coming off the bye. Give me my Jayhawks at -12.5. I believe this line's up to 14.5 now. West Virginia is traveling to Kansas. West Virginia just come off that win in the backyard brawl against Pitt. Another spot play. Kansas got the week off. They're at home. I think Kansas, Jalen Daniels will roll here. Defense has played really good. Offense has been playing good ball. I was not high on West Virginia. I think that more so just the pure nature of the game last week is why they won it. And then last but not least here, team I always seem to be betting, East Carolina +7.5 at home against BYU. East Carolina, they have a good defense here that should contain BYU, and they should be able to cover this. I think it'll be a pretty close game. They've been kind of spreading the ball out a little better than they did against that NC State team at the beginning of the year. So give me East Carolina +7.5 at home. Tyler, you got any you want to shout out real quick outside of
right
Memphis?
now? Yeah, Memphis, Indiana is the only thing I bet as of so far. I will be betting on some games.
Y'all go follow him on Action. I'll shout it out.
I'll be betting the Michigan, Nebraska game. I'll probably be betting the Utah game. I'll be betting quite a few games. So, but Memphis and Indiana is all I've taken so far, and then I'll be betting NFL on Sunday too. So
yeah, Tyler Lyles 918 over on Action. You can find him there. You can find me at jhumphrey25. Guys, I take my bets Sunday when the lines drop. I try to get if I think the line's going to move, I get the best line I can. So you'll see my bets on there usually on Sundays. jhumphrey25 on Action. Jose, you got anything you want to shout out real quick?
Follow me on Action. I'll be updating throughout the week. But listen to me. Do not get cute with it, guys. Take the Hoosiers. I promise you. They will beat the shit out of Illinois. There's no way. Take the Hoosiers minus whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, and that's Jose 808 over on Action. And then lastly, the Boulevard Action itself, where we post our best bets, is simple, _Boulevard. We do appreciate all the love on the Reddit post, over on Action, on X. And yeah, I mean, we're in it. We're in it for the long haul. Y'all keep riding with us. We'll give you some winners. Sprinkle a little bit on the moneyline dogs. Let's see if we can hit a couple more this week. But yeah, y'all have a good night. And if you have any games you want to break down, I do check the comments. Just post it in the comment section. Say, hey, what do y'all think about this game? We'll get back to you as soon as we see it before Saturday. But we do appreciate y'all for tuning in. Give us a like, subscribe, and just, be looking out on Reddit and Action for our picks. Y'all have a good night.